Nick, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilkening? Good? Okay. Tim? Mr. Kubiak?
4. So I'm gonna get.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake Board of Zoning Appeals Public Meeting for October 8, 2020. In accordance with Governor's Executive Order regarding COVID-19, we have arranged a live stream of tonight's meeting at cedarlake.org/view-town-meetings. You must join the meeting through the link to participate during public comment. If you have a question or comment about an item on the agenda, please email michelle.baker@cedarlakein.org by 4 p.m. Ms. Baker will ensure that all submissions are shared and submitted and submission entered into the minutes of the meeting. Please keep your comments civil and constructive to the public policy issues. Would you all please rise for the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Nick Recupero.
Here.
Jerry Wilkening.
Here.
John Kapura.
Present.
Jeremy Kuiper.
Present.
Jeff Bungie.
Here.
David Ashton.
Present.
Tim Kubiak.
Here.
Michelle Baker. Here. Tammy Bilger here.
Thank you. Reading of the minutes from September 10, 2020 public meeting. Are there any additions or corrections?
None. None.
None.
Seeing none, we need a motion to accept.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Cabrera, second by Mr. Recupero to approve the minutes. Roll call.
Nick Recupero.
Yes.
Jerry Wilkening.
Yes.
John Kapura.
Yes.
Jeff Bungie.
Yes.
Jeremy Kuiper.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Minutes approved. Old business, item number 1, Nick's Tavern update. Owner petitioner El Muran. Excuse me. Nick's Tavern, 13231 Wicker Avenue in Cedar Lake. In the vicinity of the same, the use variance is to allow the petitioner to have outdoor dining, outdoor alcohol sales, and outdoor entertainment. And this was a request from the BZA from the November 14th, 2019 meeting to come by for an update for this variance. Please come up, state your name and address.
Hello, Al Morowski from Nick's Tavern, 13231 Wicker Avenue.
Okay.
I really think the request was due to parking issues that we may have had early on and things like that. Wanted to make sure that there was no complaints regarding music or late night or things of that nature. As far as I know, I don't think we've had any complaints or any problems with anybody in the community or any parking issues that maybe we earlier would have had. We struck up a deal with can't think of her name that owns the corner store there. We really haven't had to use that parking, or we haven't been in Macaulay's parking lot at all. So I'm not saying that business is horrible, but it's just, it's there's enough parking from between me and my landlord that we have in the back there. He took down a garage back there, and that kind of opened up a lot of spots. So we really don't have any issues unless somebody from the community has contacted you guys. It was a good summer. Barring COVID, but.
Have we received any complaints from the town or building department? We're aware of. Anybody from this board have any comments or questions for follow-up?
Seems like all's well.
I agree.
So you're open, dining room's open, patio's open, everything's open?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah, I think we only got a couple more weeks of good weather, so this weekend. will probably be- And we really haven't had like bands or anything like that. We really have only had single type entertainment for COVID. Right now, it's just, everybody's still a little spooked. But it's been working out okay.
Sounds good.
Very good.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, Al.
Okay, do we think we need to see him again, or we?
I don't
Good.
think we need to see him unless we get complaints, and it doesn't look like we're gonna get any.
All right, if there's anything you guys want me to come back and speak to,
Yeah.
I certainly will.
Thank you. Yeah,
I think we're good. Thank you.
So I can go watch the Bear game. I gotta see.
If you want, this might be more entertaining.
That was what we thought.
you know, we're gonna win.
Okay, old business, item number 2, Porter Special Use Variance, owner Porter Brothers LLC, 2805 West 47th Avenue in Gary. Petitioner Tim Porter of 12805 West 147th in Gary in the vicinity of 9019 West 133rd Avenue in Cedar Lake. Special use variance is to allow the petitioner to operate indoor, outdoor storage facility for boats, RVs, cars, and trucks. Counselor?
This is a deferral or a continued public hearing. Everything was in order when they were here before you in September.
Thank you. Do you have a petitioner for this item?
No, I received an email. They asked to be deferred from this meeting. I talked to their surveyor who was working on making sure that he had all of the items that you requested, and they just didn't have enough time, so they asked to be deferred to a November meeting.
Was that the September 8th email? It's in here.
Doesn't say there on the email that they were asking for,
No, yeah, this is old.
Yeah, no. I just.
Yes,
talked to
but
them on
it's the
October
same information Michelle just said, and I'm just wondering what the date on that was. September 8th, right? That we just looked at.
In the BZA summary, guys, it says that there was an email submitted October the 5th asking for a deferral.
Correct.
I don't know if you guys can see that. If
Yep.
that's the same email you're talking about, Jerry.
Oh, there's another email in the computer here that I think was dated September 8th.
That's
yeah,
correct.
that was, yeah,
That was just the old information.
that was older.
So the 8th email, the 5th email has the same information as the 8th email.
No,
Survey, no?
no, after the last meeting, when you guys asked them to have the list of items on that site plan, I talked to the surveyor.
Okay,
And then they emailed me on October 5th and asked to be deferred because that was not completed yet.
Okay.
There was drainage and parking and lots, and, you know.
Mr. President, the list of things that we asked of that petitioner was kind of a basic list. I mean, the whole list. A site plan is a site plan. You know, the timeline for blacktop and all those other kind of things. I'm not sure that we even got to that
Mhm,
because he had so many things that were very, very open-ended.
mhm.
I just don't want there to be any confusion when he comes in here and says he's hypothetically has these 3 or 4 things done. And he's surprised when he has to blacktop everything within 12 months and other things like that. So I'm kind of disappointed he's not here. That's all I got.
That was in his plan though, in his phased plan initially, right, to pave after a certain time frame and clean this building or that building.
Yeah, I know he had some phases and I don't recall exactly what those were or what the timeline was for them.
It's included in the package.
Is that the email you're referring to, Michelle? With-
Yeah,
with
the one
their
where it
time?
says phase 1, phase 2, phase 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, before that.
Mhm.
And this is what they submitted, the petitioner? He does, when is phase 3? How many years is that away?
3 to 5, says.
35.
What is the survey of the property done? You talked to the surveyor?
That's, I think, what he was waiting
Right.
for.
It's not done.
All right, I'll ask, is there any petitioners for or against this item here this evening? Any petitioners for or against this item? Are we doing outside still? No. Any submitted electronically, Ms. Baker?
Okay.
Okay, seeing or hearing no remonstrators. Public portion of this item is closed. Any other building department comments? Any other board discussion for this item or his request for deferral?
If he needs more time to get it done, I suggest we give it to him.
Is that a motion?
Yes, I make a motion, we defer until the next BZA meeting in November, whatever that date is, I don't know.
12.
November 12th.
John,
Yes, sir.
may I offer the suggestion that the motion include no further deferrals will be considered? Sounded like there was a little burr about him not being present.
And I'll add to that motion that no further deferrals will be considered.
Without him present? Or can he,
Well, if he shows up, he asks for more time. we need to discuss
Right.
The dialogue.
I just wanted to,
No more deferrals without him being present. If he's here and can sway us, whatever, then I would think it's all right. But if he's not present, then no more deferrals. But I would like to see this thing go.
Judges do that all the time to us lawyers. Need to show up, but need to be in seat.
Okay.
Need to be a participant. You're involved.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
thank you. So we have a motion by Mr. Kapira, second by Mr. Recupero to defer until the November 12, 2020 meeting. But that also no further deferrals to be considered without the petitioner present. Roll call?
Nick Recupero,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkins,
Yes.
John Kapoor,
Yes,
Jeff Bungie,
Yes,
Jeremy Kuiper,
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Item will be deferred. Old business, item number 3, Middleton use variance. Owner Brian Lalonde, 9854 Hedwig Drive in St. John. Petitioner Larry Middleton, 7241 West 134 Place in Cedar Lake, in the vicinity of 13640 Morris Street in Cedar Lake. Use variances to allow the petitioner to operate 2 businesses on a lot in a B1 zoning, construction office with outdoor storage for a dump truck and camper, and a photography studio. Counselor Austin?
This is a continued public hearing also, referred to your last public meeting. All items were noted then. You may proceed.
Thank you. Do we have a petitioner for this item? Go ahead.
Larry Middleton, 13640 Moore Street. And this is the owner of the property.
Brian Maloney, 13640.
Okay, welcome back. And what do you got for us this time?
Well, we had a compliance issue. And so I kind of asked for everything that needed to be in compliance, and I got that yesterday. So, I mean, we're just kind of, is it gonna happen or not? We got, only thing I can see on there, and I don't know if you guys, did you guys get this?
Yes.
So is there anything on there besides putting in the guardrail that we're not compliant of?
I think that there's supposed to be a fence along the east side, like where your camper and all that is.
There is a fence there, but I think, was it him you were talking about, said something needs to be rebuilt?
The gate,
Yeah, and I asked what that is, I never got any information back, because the gate works fine. Yeah, they close.
Yeah, they had, before there was some type of privacy screen on that gate or something that was kind of blocked it off from the road.
Is that the issue with the visibility part of that?
I'm not sure what their thoughts were, but I mean, again, when you're using stuff for that, just out of visibility from the street, it's just, but if it's daily usage stuff, I mean, that's these guys' call.
Yeah, on this list that they gave me, I don't really see too much there except for the guardrail thing. We kind of talked about the guardrail last time. And I asked if I didn't have to put that in. I was told, yes, you don't have to, just put grass along that side so people aren't pulling in. But this is saying that it has to be in, so I just don't know what needs to be done.
Did you take care of, is item number 10 fully realized that where you're gonna be parking, be permitted only on paved areas?
Yeah, the parking lot is it's just like this. So the only thing that will be parked in the gravel area there you see would be the camper and the dump truck. If there's a dump truck, because last time I said I won't even get one.
Are you guys looking for physical stripes on the ground?
Mhm.
Okay. I worked with Thermo Steel asphalt maintenance, but you work with you guys quite often, so I can probably get along pretty quick. It's up down there on your own, everything.
And we have standards for parking area sizes and whatnot.
Yeah.
That would need to be
I
followed.
mentioned they put on there, but I think that's a little too tight. I'd rather do,
You can go more than, but
okay. I prefer like 9 or something.
anything from the building department?
No, I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't know what, again, I know that, when he was in here the first day, I told him that the board had issues with the neighbors and the board had issues with the fence being missing and the pulling out to 136. The next 2 days later, they tore the asphalt out of that exit onto 100, out that was there, that was placed in the ditch there, and cleaned that back out of there and fix the fence, right away. So,
didn't you also remove a vehicle or a boat or a?
Yeah, the boat.
Yeah, the enclosed trailer is still there.
Okay.
But it's his, he is moving.
Yeah, but he already moved the boat, right?
The boat is gone,
Yep.
yes.
Michelle, wasn't there also some discussion last month about the deteriorating pavement condition in front of the pole building? There was some gravel, there was some discussion about the side gravel area, which I don't have a problem with, but I think we also discussed the deteriorating blacktop.
No, because I went back on YouTube. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember that part.
did talk about pulling up the pavement, we talked about that. Is that?
Is
Did you
that
hear all that,
pavement
Jeff?
in front in poor shape?
I wouldn't say it's in poor shape.
It's all there, but it's not very nice to do that.
A little bit here, a little bit
Yeah,
there.
it's like, I mean, there's no holes, you know, it's all there at least, but
I've drove past it several times, but I didn't pay attention too much to the pavement.
yeah.
Does this mean they corrected the entrance from 136? So
They
that
removed- they
it can't
removed
be
that-
used,
They removed the asphalt out of the thing and they got dirt back down and there's some grass. seed
So it
down
can't
there,
be
so
used.
it's- And they even got a rope or some flags
So
up now.
Are they
but
still
that-
required to put a guardrail up there?
but that was my question.
I mean, is it a legal document saying that these improvements need to happen? Is that correct or?
This is what was talked about with the previous owner and tenant approval.
Mhm.
That's what we talked about, the objective criteria that we looked at. All of that issue was going on. with the property.
Okay.
So does that mean that we have to abide by this document
Um,
first and foremost?
Well, I would suggest to you that those negotiated terms of condition that were part of a litigation for zoning compliance, that although these did not ultimately get entered into a court order, these were the negotiated items that property owner left. The case was dismissed as a consequence. They cleared out.
Okay, so this was negotiated between our town and the previous owner?
Yes. We had Tim did put on, Tim and Michelle put on also. They were on that property lot.
Just
Tim
out
was in the parking place.
And that was trying to alleviate the exit and exiting, entering out onto Morse. I mean, to limit it to the entrance. So, I mean, and again, the last people that were there took advantage of every single spare inch of the lot and parked in the road and in the grass and on top of stuff and wherever. So that was the reasoning for limiting, you know, the limited access. You can just pull in anywhere. You know, like, and again, it was very much light and rough area when everything's jammed full. So,
So do you think the guardrail is still necessary if they've done ripping out of the actual gravel there?
well, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the side yard there now that the grass is put back and, yeah, I mean, the road is taken out of exiting out of the corner, but there still should be some grass or some type of buffer to keep from having a wide open, you know, all of the new site plans, we try to limit that access to it in and out, not just, you know, there should be able to be parking along somewhere, so you can't just pull in and out everywhere, so.
Two questions, how many feet of guardrail and can it be like a wood,
Like posts or?
like wood post or like bollards or like a farm fence type barrier, or does it have to be the like road metal?
Well, I mean, I think any type of a buffer thing would be preferred over an actual guardrail. I mean, we don't want a metal guardrail there, but I think some landscaping, the, you know, the 4x4 posts with the rope, something aesthetically, you know, something.
How many feet is needed then?
This
30
is
feet.
showing 25 on the north end and 50 on the east, so 50 foot along Morse and 25 foot along 136 Court. As far as buffers go, there's a ditch in the front off of Morse. So that hasn't been a problem as far as people crossing there, but I have noticed because that asphalt's been sitting there so long on the side street that people have gotten accustomed to just using that as like a turnaround, so it seems to be the priority being along that road for sure. But along Morse, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, there is somewhat of a,
Yeah,
and it is starting to come back to grass again
Yeah.
now. It was mud for the longest time, but
yeah, it's grass now.
One of the reasons the guardrail was agreed upon, negotiated, talked about, or included on the site plan was because of the neighborhood complaints of the ingress and egress safety to 4th Street. In fact, specifically, the property owners to the west of this property made remonstrances in the public meetings to that person, that applicant, your predecessor, appeared and sought as much safety protection as possible. I think Don Oldline either way on that particular topic. So the fence has some apparent safety component to it, which apparently was agreed by that property owner. Didn't get it done, but agreed.
And they came into the town council, the residents, and complained to us.
Right, we had conversations as well with neighbors, they expressed their concerns and we listened to them. That's right when, that asphalt got ripped out at the same time, she came over and talked to us. We had a good conversation. So, you know, the asphalt was out and I made sure to barricade it because people were still wanting to pull through there. And I guess, you know, it wasn't a safety concern, she had, it's understandable. This time, I guess it was a golf cart or something there. And something. So my opinion on it is I think that, that having some kind of, something to stop vehicles from coming in and out should probably be put in, but I'm with Tim on this. I like the idea of the posts with the ropes.
Yeah.
Being that the guardrail, generally guardrails are to keep vehicles on the road and in an impact situation. And I like the idea of just, it's probably gonna be cheaper for you guys too to do that than the steel, and it looks better. You know, keep people from going in and out.
I think there needs to be something.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. Well, right now, is that the only issue, that fence?
I mean, that's up to you guys. I mean, the gate, years ago, the gate had the gate was actually privacy screening.
The whole gate and fence around the back was all privacy.
Correct. And then they took out the privacy fence kind of fell down and then the gate became the metal, that's there existing. So I guess depending on what is in that area is up to you guys. If you guys want that screened across there, or you want, like a sliding door or something that makes it closed off. Again, I mean, I think these guys have cleaned it up a lot and they did this stuff immediately right after they came in and talked to us about what was needed. So I think they're on the right track of, going down the right road instead of ignoring, as soon as we had a talk with, I don't know your first name, but when I talked with him the next couple days, that stuff was taken care of. The asphalt was gone, the rope was up. So I feel pretty good about that. So.
Well, it seems like they're willing to comply with what we're asking.
Right.
I just want it to be the least expensive and easiest thing for them to comply with. So it sounds like the rope barricade is one. Now, I can't picture this fence or the gate. Is the gate on the east side of the fence of that?
The gate, right now the fence is around the north and the.
See it?
North and west, right?
So that's all open.
See how it's open? That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, there was a fence there before. I mean, a gate.
Right, see where the gate, there's a metal thing there, but there used to be a gate, the fence used to go across back to the barn. So you can put your stuff back there and close it, close it. So again, that's up to you guys.
So you're trying to see that to block the view or keep a pleasant view to the motorists going by. Is that what you're trying to do?
Right.
Right?
Depending on what's there, exactly. I mean, if they're just gonna park a one truck and a camper there, then I don't see any need to, but.
Are you bringing your tear off back every night or are you bringing it to?
Actually, I just did one today and it's actually, my dump truck's at my house. It's not mine, but it's somebody who lets me use their dump truck. It's at my house. I have to dump it tomorrow morning. So every once in a while that does happen. I run a little too late. I can't dump it. But
And
most
you
of the
put-
time,
you
it's
put
I
a-
try to get it dumped that day.
You put a tarp over it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I don't even own a dump truck.
Yeah.
So that's in there just because future I would probably get one.
Well, my experience is it's pretty hard to clean up a roofer's yard.
How would you know that? I have a couple questions for the owner. I'm looking at an old GIS picture. So on the west side of the building, the metal building, is there going to be a fence going from the southwest corner of that building to the property line where the other fence is? Because there's room to store a lot of stuff from the due west of the metal building. I mean, you're storing stuff back there too, or
Behind the
behind the building, yeah.
behind the building, the fence goes all the way around the building. And what is it? And it's probably more than that, right? 15 feet.
It's all of that. It's probably
It's completely enclosed. Yeah.
completely enclosed. So the privacy part of this we're talking about needs to be completely enclosed.
It is, except for the picture they had posted.
Okay.
That's where it does. But the rest of it is all the way around to the back of the other side of the whole barn.
So one more quick. Huh?
I'm not certain it's private.
Well,
A 6-foot tree with dog here. thing.
See it? It's in the picture. See it?
yeah, but where it ends to the south is what I'm talking about, because I didn't see it either. The other
It goes
question,
right,
Yeah,
see, you
right
can see
there.
it behind the boat.
the other question I had was, do you live in the residence there?
No.
Okay, you rent that out?
Yeah.
Okay, so, so,
When I bought the place, the guy was.
okay, council, this is 3 businesses on one piece of property. So where do we go from here?
Well, probably. I think probably. Well, I know a lot about 13640 Moore Street. I don't know. Long. That may be legal not.
I would say that's probably accurate.
The unit's been there a long time. And it was there when it was the Oil Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, grocery store, so.
Okay.
That'd be my concern about the question.
Okay. Have nothing else.
You have all your material delivered to the job site, right? So virtually, you're not storing any drip edge or
Oh, no. I got drip edge, gutter apron, that stuff. It's inside.
it's inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's stored inside. I have nothing outside inside that camper.
And your leftover shingles, you got a couple bundles. What do you do with those?
These are inside the shop. Yes, I keep everything inside. Yeah. I take everything extra that I can on all my jobs. If anything extra comes right inside the shop.
You know, the history of this over the last 10 years is what scares us all.
Yeah.
And to have somebody who's seemed to be gonna be, in compliance is a little hard to wrap my arms around right now.
It's gonna be on the outside. You're not gonna drive by it and be like, oh my God, what is that? I mean, seriously, I don't even have that much time there. Like I said before, I go in, I grab my stuff and I go, you're not gonna have a bunch of stuff hanging out there.
So we need to get the blacktop cleaned up, patched, striped, fence, gate. Is that the pieces of this puzzle right now?
I have.
Railing of some kind?
And does anybody have an idea of a gate? Like, if I was talking like, for lack of a better term, I don't work with gates. So like a French door kind of with wheels on it.
I honestly don't care as long as it's privacy and it works for you. That's my opinion. As long
Go
as,
to 50% slider?
as long as it looks like the rest of the fence and it covers anything that you may put back there and it works for you, that's what I'd like to see. Unless
Because-
you guys have something more.
No, because I know you don't know it yet, but you will have people begging you to put stuff back
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we want it privacy, we want it sealed. Okay, so you know, yeah, you know what I mean?
You will have people begging us to prosecute, they're not compliant. If they're not compliant, they'll be here next week. So that's our experience. Yeah, pretty visible.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on the road, everybody can see it, like having your bathroom go open.
You know, we, you know, we're talking about a 6-foot privacy fence, and then pretty soon there's a shrink wrap boat back there that's 8 foot higher than the fence is. And then somebody gets to look at that for, 7 months.
All I got in my mind, any boss, that's all I. She moved. Know where she works, she knows my phone number. She's your neighbor.
I think she moved.
Did she move?
I think, their house has been for sale and I think it's sold.
On top of it, she does this work for a living. Right. What's the last name? Claus. Oh, I don't think I nailed it to anybody.
Bring your Christmas card. Liz.
So you were getting to the good stuff there. Mr.
Well, I was just kind of reiterating.
Right, so what I had is the privacy fence slash gate, a fence or railing to prevent ingress egress on 136. The making sure that the parking lot is properly delineated for their site plan. Am I missing anything?
Mr. Kubiak, do you have any issues with the southern border of the parking lot?
No.
Okay.
I guess my one issue that I have with the way that this is going is I'd like some pretty good clarity on what you guys want to do for the guardrail, because by ordinance, we don't allow fences in the front yard.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to be on the same page of what's gonna happen there and that be approved today, because that way there's no.
I agree with the government. I don't like the look of the government along the road there, but I was envisioning hopefully something maybe like a 6x6 post. I don't know how many feet, X amount of feet with like a 2x12 treated piece of wood that we can maintain. We can keep it staying stuff to make it look nice. That goes around. I think it would serve its purpose to keep it.
Don't want to do the rope, huh?
Oh, I don't mind doing the rope. I never tried it, but it's similar.
Well, it's
to
kind of
the
like
Gary
a
Bell.
look around the lake. It's just, that's all.
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
not perfect
Oh, that's
together.
fine. That would be a good idea.
I mean, 6 foot apart posts with the rope in between.
That's fine with those.
It's easy. It only has to be, you don't have to make it real tall. It's essentially keep your traffic from going in and out. So that would be your guys' discretion, whatever you wanna,
3 foot.
3 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot.
Kind of like
Yeah.
where the park is down there.
Yeah.
What's that park? The other side of Rosado.
Bartlett Park.
Bartlett Park.
And that's part of the town's theme, like you see our post out here, we're trying to make the town look nautical. That's perfect. That works.
Yeah, so no more than 3 feet tall with the post, just so it doesn't cause any vision going out of that 136. So it's enough. Just so there's some kind of an agreement here, so that way we're all good.
Everybody
Put
look
it in
at
motion.
Him and
Make
his
it part of
fences.
the record.
When you get to the nitty gritty, it's gotta be there.
I said before. It's and T's.
Mr. Bungie, you catching all this?
Yes, I am, sir.
You, anything to add, subtract, multiply, or divide?
No, I can think of nothing at the present time.
I'll ask our petitioners to have a seat for a brief moment. Are there any remonstrators for or against this variance? Any remonstrators for or against this variance? Ms. Baker, has there been any submitted online?
No, sir.
Seeing or hearing none, the public portion of this item is closed. It's- Any other building department comments
Nothing.
or discussion slash recommendation to the town council?
Yes, sir. I would like to make a recommendation of the town council to approve this use variance to allow the petitioner to operate 2 businesses on a lot in a B1 zoning district, a construction office with outdoor storage for a dump truck, and camper and a photography studio with the following contingencies. That the parking lot is properly delineated per the site plan, that the fence is completed on the east side to match the rest of the fence with the gate, and that wood posts with ropes to the building department standards no more than 3 feet high to be installed at the location agreed upon previously by the town, and to include the findings of fact.
I'll second it.
That was beautiful.
Oh, good.
I ain't even gonna try. Do you understanding of the motion? Any other discussion?
No.
So that was favorable recommendation.
Yeah.
Was there a width in between the posts mentioned?
No,
I was kind of leaving it up to the building department.
6 foot.
Okay, since it's gonna come to us, I wanted to know if you mentioned the width.
I was leaving that
Okay.
in their hands at that end.
Well, Tim said 6 foot, so.
For agreement.
6 foot wide. Is there timing on that too?
Tomorrow.
Street of Lisbon, stuff to come by.
so we have a motion by Mr. Recupero, second by Mr. Wilkening, and roll call.
Nick Recupero,
Yes?
Jerry Wilking,
Yes.
Mark Ford,
Yes,
Jeff Bungie,
Yes,
Jamie Kuiper,
Yes, motion carries 5-0. You guys will be on the town council agenda, and then you can go there and go ahead with the approval.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for staying with it.
Item number 1.
October 20th.
7 o'clock.
New business, item number 1, Young Developmental Variance. Owner 524 LLC, 1201 North Main Street in Crown Point. Petitioner Bruce Young, Price Point Builders, P.O. Box 1343 in Crown Point, in the vicinity of 14402 Windsor Place in Cedar Lake. Developmental variance allowed petitioner to build a new home with a front yard setback of 25 feet and a rear yard setback of 15 feet. Counselor Austin. Thank you. We have a petitioner.
Yes. We're looking for a variance.
Name and address, please.
Bruce Young, P.O. Box 1343, Crown Point. 460.
Okay, go ahead with your request.
We're looking for a variance for a 25-foot for the front yard and a 15-foot after the deck in the backyard.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Kubiak?
I'm just looking.
Take your time.
was this before us last night?
Pardon?
Was this address before us last night?
No, this was the other one.
Okay,
This is the rezone.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for the reason.
that just isn't the reason.
No,
This is not the rezone.
was that supposed to be here for the reason?
Yeah.
So, I have to resubmit them?
The public meeting is October 21st.
So we're okay on it still.
Make sure that you come to that meeting.
I got a print here too, Tony, if you want to see it.
Yeah, I was just curious as to where the houses were in the next down the street there. This is right on the corner there. I see your sign.
So, yeah, it's right on the corner. There's no other house next to it. beside it.
I mean, the rear yard setback is for the deck to get out of the back of the house, right? So I mean, you had 27 feet without the deck.
Correct. On the short side, because it's a little bit of an angle, on the long side is 30 foot.
Go ahead, your
Yeah.
building department.
This address will also need to be changed. This is a Windsor address and this is not on Windsor. So we
Yeah,
need to
they'll
make
be on
sure that that's
Fairbanks.
done.
Yes.
When this is after this, if, you know, everything is approved, we'll get that survey and that address updated.
Any other building department comments?
That's the address.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah, by the parcel.
I mean, this was a pretty heavily wooded little lot over there on the corner.
Pretty clear now.
It's pretty clear.
It's a nice little lot.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, all these lots that are 100 foot deep, once you build a house, if it's a bi-level, I mean, you have no way to get a deck on the back because of the depth of the lot. So I know they just built just up the road there, that was like, guys, I mean, they built a ranch house there and they had the same thing. They had to get a variance for the 12-foot deck in the backyard, same set situation. So I don't have any issues with it.
Okay, any board discussion?
What's the front yard supposed to be?
30.
30? So we're losing 5 feet there. And the 15 foot is because of the patio, the depth.
Correct.
The rear yard setback without the deck should be 25 feet.
You're not the owner of the building?
And the owner.
No, that's your- Okay.
It's not Windsor, it's Fairbanks. That's what Michelle was talking about.
Any other board discussion?
Nope. None.
Okay, I'll ask you to take a seat for a brief moment, please. Are there any demonstrators for or against this variance? Any demonstrators for or against this variance? Ms. Baker, has there any been submitted on the line?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Seeing or hearing none, the public portion of this item is closed. Come back up.
So I just have a quick question. So the house will be facing the east.
Yes,
And so the setback off of 144th Avenue is going to comply.
mhm,
And so we're just concerned about the east setback and the west setback.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Your neighbor to the east, the GIS is showing the fences in the roadway.
Fence to the east.
A lot of that over there.
And the rear yard setback is supposed to be 25 feet?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other building department?
I have nothing.
Any other board discussion?
No, sir.
No,
Okay, this will be a board decision on this developmental variance.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve this developmental variance as presented, include the finding of fact.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Recupero, second by Mr. Shapiro to grant the developmental variance as requested to allow the petitioner to build a new home with a front yard setback of 25 feet and a rear yard setback of 15 feet to include the findings of fact. Do you understand the motion, sir? Any other discussion?
Jeremy, does this also include the readdressing of the lot? Would that be part of our call?
It's council saying no.
No. Okay.
That will happen, Jeff.
Okay, very good. Well, it was discussed earlier and I didn't know if it needed to be part of the motion. So only reason why I bring it up.
That's all. Okay, roll call.
Nick Recupero,
Yes.
Jerry Wilking,
Yes.
John Stewart,
Yes,
Jeff Spongy,
Yes.
Jeremy Piper,
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Development variance is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. New business item number 2. Carnes Developmental Variance, owner petitioner Michael Carnes, 9001 West 142nd Avenue in Cedar Lake, in the vicinity of the same. Developmental variance is allowed the petitioner to build a 30-foot by 40-foot pole barn with a height of 16 foot and a sidewall height elevation of 11 foot to replace an existing garage 800 square foot with storm damage. Counselor,
Legals are in order, public hearing. legal to go.
thank you. Do we have a petitioner for this item? Go ahead. Name and address.
Michael Carnes, 9001 West 142nd Avenue.
And go ahead with your request.
Requesting
It's okay.
Post building. Following heights and size. And drainage easement issue. Following moving it closer away from the drainage easement and property line.
Mr. Kubiak.
This on 142nd Avenue, if you see it in the picture here, he's got a fairly decent sized garage now that's taller than 16 feet already. In his rear yard, directly behind his garage is another pole barn, similar to the same thing as he's asking to build, as far as size goes. You can see it right there in the picture. His building is right on, pretty close to the drainage easement on the property line, so he'll be moving it over how many feet? Right, 4 feet or
Currently,
6 feet.
the garage is an angle currently right now. The back corner is 5 feet off the property line, the front corner is 4.5 feet. I'm moving it 10 feet off the property line.
Right.
If I need to move it further
Yeah.
to comply with.
Well, that was enough to get it out of that.
What the board would want,
Right.
I have no issues doing it.
It is right in the drainage easement in the back.
So we're improving the location.
Improving on that, the overall height will be less than it currently is. Like I said, there's a pole barn right in his rear yard. He does have less than an acre. He's got a pretty good sized yard along there. This is what it is.
whose pole barn is there? That's not yours, is it?
No, sir.
No, but there is one then
It's-
Okay,
on 100, I believe that's 142nd place
Yeah.
behind him, so it backs right up to the back of his. I mean, basically, it's right behind his garage.
Yeah, it's about the same size too, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So it's consistent, I can say that.
So you're gonna replace the garage that's in the picture?
Yes, sir. It was due to the last storm. A large branch hit it. Did $15,000 worth of structural damage according to the insurance company. They totaled it. They said it was a total loss. And because it currently does not meet new building codes, this is why I'm trying to file for the variances. And unfortunately, my garage doors are only 7 feet tall.
My truck is 7.5 foot tall.
Can you,
My wife can put her car in there and it's hit.
anything else from the building department?
I have nothing.
Any other board discussion?
You're gonna have 8-foot garage doors in there then?
9 foot, sir.
No more board discussion at this time. I'll ask you to take a seat for a brief, oh, was there?
No, I have
Oh, I'm
nothing.
sorry. Take a seat for a brief moment. Are there any remonstrators for or against this variance? Any remonstrators for or against this variance? Baker, has there any been submitted on the line?
No, sir.
Thank you. Seeing none, the public portion of this item is closed, and you can come back up, sir. Anything else from the building department? Any other board discussion?
No, sir.
This will be a board decision for this developmental variance.
The two 9-foot overhead doors will face north towards 125th Place or 142nd Avenue, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
And then the 8-foot side bay will face the back of the house, correct?
yes.
To the east, I guess, right?
You got it.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
Was that a motion?
I suppose I could do that. Let's see, where am I at?
Home.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to, that we grant this developmental variance as requested with the movement of the placement of the structure 10 foot off the west property line. Including the findings of fact.
I'll second it, Mr. President.
Okay, very good. We have a motion by Mr. Bungie, a second by Mr. Wilkie. Grant the development variance as requested and presented to allow the petitioner to build a 30-foot by 40-foot pole barn with a height of 16 foot and a sidewall height of 11 foot to replace the existing garage 800 square foot with storm damage and to include the findings of fact. You understand the motion, sir? Any questions? Yes, we have questions? Or yes, no? Okay. Roll call?
Nick Gupta,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkins,
Yes.
John Kapoor,
Yes,
Jeff Bungie,
Yes.
Jeremy Kaiser,
Yes, motion carries 5-0. And approved, you can come in for a building permit. Hey, is there any public comments? Any
Yeah.
public comment?
I want to backtrack a little bit. For the storage units, the old Cedar Lake lumber.
Yes,
thank you.
Do we have any storage units in town that aren't blacktop? Because his phase 1, 2, and 3 mentioned fill, mentioned stormwater. I didn't see at a glance that it mentioned anything about blacktop. Or resurfacing or anything else. And again, he's gonna be in here thinking that we're adding things to what was requested, but as I said, I think what we gave him was just the basics. You know, if he wants an actual list, then he needs to be given an actual list. I mean, his 5-year phase 3, you know, up to 5 years.
I think to answer your first question, what's the one on 41 south that has the
To keep it, you lock stores.
it is gravel for their outdoor storage off of 41 there. for the boats and RVs, so,
Right, but that's the outdoor storage.
right?
That's not the whole lot.
Correct.
His conceptual drawings, his 3-dimensional CAD drawings, if I can call them that, are, you know, there's buildings, there's new buildings everywhere. And for people driving around inside there, I don't know why my blacktop is not gonna be required unless I'm missing something.
Well, to your point, it's certainly not in his three-phase plan. It doesn't mean that,
If this guy's gonna be requesting new buildings and drainage and all these other things, I mean, he's gonna have to come to the plan commission for a site plan to get that.
Well,
Site
you're
developed.
absolutely, I totally,
So,
I agree with you 100%. However, you know, who's gonna hold him to phase one? And if he does, you know, he's got, he'll have boats packed in there. And it, 3 years later, and what are we gonna tell him to get the boats out? I mean, he
I'm
just,
not advocating any phases, I'm just saying that, I don't know that, I mean, I think that the variance request is for the outdoor storage. And I think that is something that if the BZA is gonna approve contingent on a site plan, I mean, is this the,
this is indoor, outdoor storage. it
And a
says.
use commitment could be done.
right, but I mean, I'm just saying, I
I've
don't
I've just,
know.
this has been running a little on the skinny side for details and I see another parking, I see another lot that never gets blacked out. That's what I'm seeing.
From
Just
the
like the owner with the guardrail of the property on the corner. They just leave, nothing ever gets done.
From the information that I received from the surveyor, they made it sound like they wanted to get it all cleaned up and possibly at one point make it a one lot subdivision and, you know, really know where the boundaries are. There's that side road that comes in and goes down. You know,
Yeah,
there was a little bit of.
Yeah,
uncertainty.
and the GIS shows one, that building in the back corner being real tight to the property line. We all know there's a stormwater issue in there of
And again, that's
of
up to you guys.
significant
I mean, it's
magnitude.
up to you guys to, I know that the ambulance people are committed to renting it for renting the office and the big building for, you know, right now. So that's what the guy told me when I inspected the electric, but
kind of the way I see it playing out is phase one is kind of in, it seems to be in our wheelhouse to approve or deny the outdoor storage, but then the cleanup of the property and stuff. I would think once it got to the phase 2 and phase 3, it would have to go through a plan commission type of thing. And then if there's any variances from there, come back through us.
Yeah, but it says indoor, outdoor. So anything that can go under a roof is gonna go under a roof, which means there's traffic driving around. And that's phase one. And again, we know what happens back there. There's a lake in the middle of that parking lot. And that all these things need to be fixed. And again, like a petitioner last night was surprised when somebody mentioned lighting. But what, I mean, this is another site plan. That's missing some pieces.
Where's this located?
Old Cedar Lake lumber, Bob.
Okay, that's what I thought, but it's not on the application page.
So it's 9019.
I didn't see
Is the
it on
address.
here. Oh, yeah, there it is at the top.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah, okay, I didn't see that. I looked down at the two.
You know,
And I can hear what you're saying. There is a lot of water.
right, and his email is kind of just basic, you know, let me know if there's anything else you need. I got everything you need. And we really don't have I don't have everything I need.
that,
No, it isn't, but I don't want the guy standing at the podium, like, nobody told me this.
That kind of happened last time.
that email was sent when it was just the owner before or just that petitioner before the surveyor got involved.
The
And
October
before
5th
you
email.
guys brought up the drainage and the issues that were there. So that's why they have the surveyor to look at all of that you mentioned. I don't remember who it was. He's not from the one.
Does outside storage have to be on pavement? On asphalt?
That's up to you, but I believe that you said that you wanted delineated spots.
That
Does the town ordinance say it has to be on pavement?
town ordinance says parking lot.
Pardon me?
Parking lots
Commercial parking paved, shall be paved.
commercial
So
parking.
there's no question that he's got to pave it,
Commercial enterprise,
that he's got to pave it.
gotta be paved.
If that's what the ordinance says, that's what has to be done, so. I don't want to waiver that.
All right,
We
I
got a
guess,
big boat storage on the west side of the lake, that's all gravel.
where are you talking about?
Marina.
Well, it's only been there 100 years.
Yeah,
Pardon?
It's only been there 100 years, I guess.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying that there's one there that.
well, in some fashion, it is existing non-conforming. However, many moons ago, there were no boats stored outside. The storage,
Well, I don't want to get into talking about them.
No, I'm
just saying.
yeah, I'm just.
Yeah.
You know, all
Mike-
Mr. All
Mike-
Mr. Henn's properties, everything's delineated, everything's blacked out, everything is clean, everything is.
Well, that's why he's here. I mean, you guys told him what you wanted. I wasn't here, but. There's there's no way of getting around somebody staying up there and saying, I didn't know I had to do this. I mean, that's.
Well,
gonna happen, no matter what.
I guess I'm mentioning it because if there's any more correspondence, perhaps a heads up for some of these things needs to be given to him, maybe. I don't know. I'm just having some thoughts about this, and
What do you mean, like, when they submit the site plan, give it to you immediately? I don't understand.
no,
Maybe you want it.
I think he needs to understand that whatever these little pieces are that he needs to do, the list may be longer than he believes they are. Commercial parking, blacktop. He needs to know that. And he needs to know that.
Correct.
And if he shows up without it, we already saw phase 1 through, I mean, this has been, a month now, 2 months. We've seen his plan, and it includes none of that. And he's got plans for buildings out 5 years. So, anyway. That's all.
Maybe when these petitions are submitted that the petitioner is given a copy of the ordinance right then and there. To let them know worst case scenario, what we're going, what you need to get this in compliance.
Every one of them was given that information.
They are given that?
That's, it's available to my mind, the ordinance, that's told everybody when they ask what's the rules or what's the regulation.
It just, I think kind of, well, my opinion, maybe to Jerry's point is sometimes these people come in here surprised. And it's, I'm not putting the blame on anybody. I'm just saying it's unfortunate because we try to get stuff done.
Well, I think that a lot of people are wondering how in the hell there was ever anything happening in this building last year when they come in here, because all of a sudden they got to do, you know what I mean? I think that's the, and again, if that's everybody's wishes, I think that's great, but I think that's fine. But it's very hard for, I mean, this is a Board of Zoning Appeals, and like Mr. Osh, everybody said through the years, these are case by case basis. People come here for your guys' professional opinions on what they need to do. So, I mean, that's why they're here. They're put through the trial, the stage, so you guys guide what they can and can't do. So for us to try to preempt that, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know, what's kind of crazy.
But Dave said last night at the plan commission meeting is that these people are going to have to come and meet with staff and get all their ducks in a row, and then Michelle or
And then come
somebody
to the
will
meeting
say
and-
they're ready to come before you.
That's my right.
And we've done that in the past, and then we get all the ducks in a row, and then they come to the commission, and the commission wants the ducks in a different row.
Well, that's okay.
Then we
And that's-
develop the
right.
concept plan so that they can
And then
come
people
before the
are-
commission, which is what they want, so.
Right.
If, yeah, we can.
I mean, that was how the whole
Yeah.
concept plan started years ago, was that people wanted to be involved in
The design and. the
guiding
layout.
things into their direction, but I mean, whatever, it's up to you guys.
That is not true.
Well,
Your role is to let them know what the town's rules, regulations, and requirements are,
Right.
what the ordinances say, and what the pattern of development is in the community in relationship to what they're asking.
Right.
You can certainly tell them, no, they aren't gonna give you 16 feet garage doors.
because they don't give 16
Right.
garage doors, or, you know.
Right, give them some advice, which we do. But again, the
And,
whole
and
concept,
they don't take some of that advice.
no, then they-
We've all had that discussion.
They don't have.
And perhaps they, yeah, but perhaps they do read the ordinance and hope that they get up here and we don't call them on everything.
there's plenty.
You know, just like what we left off with the property on the corner. He says there a timeline for these posts. Well, there really is no timeline. Just like there was no
I mean,
timeline.
in this situation, there's definitely a timeline because that will hinge on the occupancy of their business. I mean, the guys down there at the Cubiles are getting the parking lot paved. They're finishing up their things that they had to do in order to get occupancy. So,
Well, you know, again, receiving information at the last minute for you guys is also, I feel sometimes a strategy with certain petitioners. The other thing is, the reason I'm mentioning this, Mr. Porter, is because I thought he stood there and he said he wants to buy the property. And he doesn't have a clue at how much it's really going to cost him to buy it, and keep adding things when he's standing here is not right. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
And I did have a long conversation with them about the detail and the plan and the use commitment and all of those different things. That's where some of that came from. But,
Okay.
you know, obviously they need to get other entities involved to understand that process a lot of these times, especially with the drainage and, you know, things like that. So.
Okay.
and again, if you guys don't like the idea of the storage or the parking, then that's just a no on the variance.
I love the idea for that because,
So,
as I said before, there'll be another 500 boats to put away in 2 years,
even more.
probably more.
Well, if he doesn't want to pave it, he needs to come before us for a variance for non-pavement.
Correct.
Plain and simple. If we're gonna play by the rules, let's play by the rules.
And something we haven't done well before is
And as-
actually putting a timeline on that, right? So what I was saying before, phase one needs to happen immediately anyway, cleaning up the property, leveling it out, making it presentable, painting buildings, etc.
Drainage.
All the things. So we still put reasonable conditions to say, in a year, you need to have it paved or whatever, and according to his phases, and yeah, he doesn't have paving in there, but that's a reasonable condition we can put on it.
Well, it's a lawful condition of commercial.
And that's what we had talked about in the past. That's why he has that like that with the different phases, with the different.
And I understand
because that was important
you
before.
can't eat the whole cow at once. Like, I don't know that there's a developer that's willing to throw everything that they want at once. And so
Sure.
that's why he's here for a compromise.
I totally understand.
And I think that's just something that would be based on the use also. I mean, phase one, you get to have 10 things stored. I mean, that's for whatever. the
Well,
case
and
is.
that's how the other storage facilities have gone.
Right,
Put up 4 buildings, it all gets blacktopped, you use the buildings.
right,
You put another building or 2 up and you
right. So
blacktop
that's
that
just the way
area,
it's
you
gotta be done.
blacktop that area, you blacktop that area, but I don't want it to be missed because the dust bowl that the neighbors will get to partake in if the wind's right will be forever.
Just like that property on 41 next to 2 old goats. He was only supposed to have so many vehicles and it started load up with vehicles.
You always get the person to take advantage of the situation.
Okay, very good. Any other public comment? Public comment, seeing none, need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. who said that? Second by Mr. Welkening. All those in favor, aye. Aye.
I
Opposed. Adjourned at 2014. Any press? Any press?